Okay. Honestly, I thought I was starting early because I'm like, oh, it's so bright outside. No, it's the usual time. Yeah, it's hard to tell now because of springtime. But yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot that is the robot that we summoned during the mini version for the commissions. Okay. Yeah, the non-awful version of this boss. Yeah. And going with the theme from yesterday is talking about horror tropes. Oh my god, I'm saying pronouncing it off. But either way, for horror movies and stuff, kind of tropes that are like, what makes a good horror movie, like good horror in general, right? I was thinking one of the things that are like when I'm thinking about horror, I'm not thinking about like high budget like movies and stuff like that. I'm thinking about a little bit more low budget things. I was like, I said, what was done really well to me is like Jaws, because in Jaws you don't really get to see the shark jaws that much, just because of as they were filming it, the animatronic was like messed up, so they couldn't really like use it. So that's the only reason why you can only see it in like pretty much close to the end. And with that, I think like a lot of like in horror movies and stuff, when you have like a monster and it's like showed too often, it kind of like it diminishes like how scary the thing is because now you saw it, right? So I think a good trope is like to not show the monster until like if you do show it, like you show the parts of it, and if you have to show it at the very end. But even then, right, I think like you probably shouldn't even show the full monster. Like even if you show the thing at the end, have it like it's kind of blurry or it's like in darkness, so you can maybe see most of the silhouette and a little bit of it through moonlight. I think that'd probably be better. Example is like, remember that one short film that was like when the person was turning off a light in the hallway. When they turn it off, they see like the shadowy lady monster, then turn it on, it's gone, then turn it on, it got closer. Right, that short was perfect. But when they try to make that into a full-length movie, it just kind of turned out kind of goofy. Right? And I think just because like they kind of like show like, okay, this is a lady and it's fucking after you, right? If they just did it where like maybe it goes through like different people's perspectives and you don't know what the fuck's going on, like the first person does the whole shadow thing, right? And it gets them. Other people like maybe it's not like just showing itself like going after them, but like they'll see weird things in the shadows, and then like things in maybe that room moves, and maybe it's like told from different people's perspectives. I think that might have been better approach to that movie. Or like if you're gonna make a monster, right, and you want to like, no, I want to show this monster, you have to make it like incomprehensible, like Arcadia, the Nicolas Cage movie. Like that monster, even after like watching it like a few times and you see the monster just in full, it's still, your brain's still like, what the fuck am I actually looking at? Like, yeah, so if you haven't watched that movie is a good one to watch if you want to do like, if you like the horror genre, especially kind of like, I'm not even sure if that would be in like more or less closer to cosmic horror almost, because it's like, it's an incomprehensible monster. The more you look at it, the more you're like, your brain struggles to figure out what the hell you're looking at. So whoever did the design for that monster, kudos to them, because they did a real good job. That's why I kind of like the so far, right, the trailer for Hokum. Like the witch entity or whatever, right? Just the whole like bulgy eyes with a rabbit like ears on. It just looks so off. it makes you remember. Kind of like if you ever watched Gintama, there's like a part where like they talk about comics and stuff and how editors are like, okay, you need to make a main character that you could tell just by looking at the silhouette. If you look at like Goku's silhouette and like or like Luffy's silhouette, you kind of like, okay, I know who that is. But I think with that same thing with like like a monster that's so like so off that you remember it. That's also maybe a good way to do a movie. But like I think if you have a low budget, you don't have kind of you don't have like a good grasp of how to make the monster look. I think going by the whole like show or don't show but tell kind of thing is better, especially if your budget's low, you know. At one point, I wanted to do kind of like a movie because after I saw like found footage movies, I'm like, oh yeah, like you don't even have to have a great budget, you can make a good movie. But then after it was like done to death, then you're like, oh. But I think right now, like if they did a good found footage kind of film now, because it's been so many years, I think it would be good. But you had to do it in an interesting way. You know, I think it's been done because like this, I'm thinking about it. I think I've seen it somewhere done like this. But like maybe you had the found footage, right? You know, the whole scary stuff, had all that, right? And but closer to the end, you find out the person that was filming everything, right? Wasn't the humans, but it was the entity, was just filming everything. But this would be more in the genre of like some kind of cosmic kind of horror thing, or you could even do like a serial killer thing too, where it's like the serial killer was filming the people the whole time. Yeah, but the thing is, like for me, the only reason why I don't go the serial killer route is because like I think people are like more used to gore and stuff, and I'm not too into gore and all that. Like I like the movies like good example is Antlers where like you don't have to like just see the just gore straight up. You could be like, okay, you see the aftermath. And yeah, it's gory, but like you don't have to like see it like rip someone apart or anything like that. You just like, oh, afterwards, like, oh yeah, that's bad. I'm not sure if like that's what other people how they feel about like different like gory scenes and stuff. But I think like the old movies because they didn't have like a lot of good they had to use like practical effects. So like when they did those kind of scenes, they had to like okay, sometimes they don't have money for it, so like okay, we'll just show the aftermath because showing like as it was going on was like a little too intensive on the for the process like the fake limbs and all that kind of stuff. So they're like, oh yeah, we'll just not do that. And I appreciated those kind of movies. The one that I didn't like was just like the ones that's like Hostel, where like that movie was just like it was just too much for me. Yeah, I don't want to imagine someone else getting ripped to pieces and stuff like that. Yeah. So like, maybe like let me see other low budget ways. I mean, a good example of like a lot of low budget movies, like how like, uh, for example, right, like some of the older Japanese horror movies, right, you could tell the budget was very low. So like maybe somehow like some of the ones like they do would be kind of good. I mean, like in America, right? Like I don't think we utilize some of the scary stories that happen in America enough. Like we have so much like rich lore that we don't even tap into. Like how like Native American lore, that shit is fucking like their scary stories they tell, right? That shit's scary as hell. Kind of like Korean horror movies and stuff, right? I like how they add like a little bit of humor and kind of comedy into it, so it makes you kind of think like it lets your pretty much makes you put your guard down. You're like, okay, like oh, it's not that scary because like the maybe the character's father just being a silly dude. Then that's when like the true horror actually starts. You're like, oh, okay, this world's absolutely scary. Nope. It's like, to me, the one I'm talking about is like, I think it was like one where it was like based off. This, I don't want to say based off of, but like in this world or whatever. Right? I think the father was like, or in the world time, right? They're like, oh, okay, this takes place in Korea, but like the characters are kind of like xenophobic, and they're like, okay, I think this one foreigner is like, no, a bad guy, right? Or just kind of a monster, and it kind of makes you feel like, oh yeah, no, this movie's about like, don't be a racist and stuff like that, right? But unfortunately, the person that they were worried about was actually evil. So it's like, oh, kind of like if you ever watched one of those, like, I think people have, right? Like those movie or daytime dramas, or like, case closed kind of stuff. Anything where it's like a detective show, right? I'm not sure if everyone does it. I know I kind of did it, where like you watch a show, right? Or like Criminal Minds and or CSI and all that, right? You look at the character and be like, okay. You look at the cast that's there, not the main characters, but like all the, if it's like some kind of crime scene, look at all the characters are there. A lot of them are famous actors. You find out, oh, this guy is really famous, but then maybe in this show, he's like, oh yeah, like for this crime scene, he was just like the photographer, and he's like a famous dude. You're like, nah, you did it. They're not gonna pay you that much money just to be like a bystander. Right, so, or like same thing with voice actors. Like, okay, this voice actor's really famous. Yeah, they're gonna use him. On the other hand, right, like sometimes like I mean, a lot of those kind of detective shows, right, they like to do the thing where like the obviously evil looking character or the obviously like suspicious guy isn't the bad person. Like, so like that's like in fiction. That's kind of how it runs. In real life, sometimes it's just the bad looking dude is bad. Not all the time, though. Yeah, because that used to get me. I think there's like a movie that did that too. Like, it had like a detective movie. The guy that's like obviously evil looking, and he seems like, oh, this guy would be kind of fucking evil. Then it was like, it was him. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. But there's also a subversion is also good, where like you have like a very famous voice actor or something like that, or a actor, and then you just kill him off, like kind of in the middle of the movie. You're like, oh, this movie is like, no, they're on the poster or anything. Oh, they're selling because of this movie, and then you kill them off. But that's if you have a good budget and you do pull off something like that. Let's see. I think I also need to check to see. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, the reinforging or reinforging. Let's see, what is everything at? Okay. Oh, that one, I don't know which one is it. Is it the gold one or is it the silver piece? Oh, either way, I don't have to go fight that one. Those mini bosses. Over here. For me, like if I was gonna do like a horror movie, I kind of want to go like, I personally want to do some like cosmic horror thing. I mean, depending on the budget, I guess. Like if I had like a medium budget, I'll probably go cosmic horror. If I had like a pretty big budget, right, and probably like a little more time to cook the idea, I'll do like cosmic horror, but I'll use it using a classical book. Because there's like, if you ever read Moby Dick, I think Moby Dick is cosmic horror. So yeah, if I had a budget for a movie, I would definitely work on that one. But let me see. If I had a low budget, I think I'd just do like a simple kind of like movie where it's like, like a ghost movie. Even I have an idea. Okay, I could. I'll say this during the Oberlin time. Probably around August, we'll do like a little special where I just tell ghost stories and shit. Anyone who's ever lived in the places I ever lived at, they don't know because this is not like hidden ghost stories or something. It's like something that everyone, all the locals and people who ever lived in these bases and stuff know about. So it's like tied in with the military stuff. But I wouldn't do a. If I was going to do a horror movie, I definitely would not do it in the actual location of some scary shit. I'll say that definitely. Like, I wouldn't go to like a scary location. Oh yeah, we'll film it here for realism. Nah, it'll be in a studio. I'm not fucking around with some ghost stuff like that. That's how you. That's how you get cursed. I mean, little spoiler thing for one of the stories I'll tell in August, but a priest did tell me that at one point. A Japanese Shinto priest. He's like one of the higher ups or whatever. And he's like, you probably don't feel any kind of entities around you, but you like attract them. I was like, what the like, I don't even, that's bad. Well, yeah, that's what he told me. And he gave me like a talisman to like, okay, then so yeah, come back later on and just like, no, we'll change it out. That shit was burnt. I was like, what? It was like a talisman inside. He gave me like a wooden necklace charm kind of thing. He said, come back this minute, listen a little bit later on, that we'll change it out. I gave it to him that he opened up. And I was like, oh, I didn't know it opens up. And that's when they saw the charm that was inside. It was like burnt. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I used to have a lot of sleep paralysis until I moved stateside. Then it was a lot less. I was like, oh, okay. And just the Asian ghost that wouldn't like talk to me, I guess. Only the Asian ghosts. Yeah, I'm just so shocked yesterday I fought that one boss and it was actually not that hard. But yeah, going back with like there's a lot of stories where like small little towns that have like nothing in them. Like you could do like a definitely like a scary movie in that kind of town, right? There's gonna be like local legends and whatnot. You don't have to go with the big ones like Mothman and all that. Yeah, I think those kind of places are like ripe for like a good scary movie. Or refining, yeah. I need the gold ones, okay. Let's see. Talking about scary stuff all the time. Or even like a small little fishing town. You know how many like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like people who love writing horror stories or just like chomping at the bit to like make a movie or something like that about that. Like when someone tells me, oh yeah, I live in a small little town, they kind of show me a picture of it and foggy and stuff, and I'm like, bro, do you live in some kind of like Silent Hill-esque place? Like, oh no, it's a small little fishing hamlet. I'm like, dude, you okay? I guess you upgraded from just regular horror to cosmic horror. Is what? I was like, yeah, so many like there's so many places in America that they just haven't done as good like scary story with. So many good places. And you don't even have to make it like with like a story of that place. You could just be like, okay, no. like a out of place horror kind of thing, where like you have a situation and you have something that's completely out of place, kind of thing. Like I think, hmm, I wonder if you would consider that to be with the back rooms, because it's like it's familiar because you're going to like a almost like an IKEA store and the back rooms of that. But at the same time, it's like familiar, but it's not. And because you could tell, like it looks like it shouldn't be anything scary, but it is kind of thing. So that's what gets you, like that gap between like being in a place that you're comfortable with, but something's just not quite right. I think that's like unsettling kind of horror. I like that. Like, you see, almost like going to like was it like a kid's playground. Oh, the Neighbor store for that too, like a little daycare center. And that shit was. Can you see a base? That shit was scary as hell. All my peeps that lived in Asia or on base in like Okinawa or mainland Japan, they know the stories. And whoever says like the military isn't superstitious, you guys are dead wrong. Like anyone who lives in a military base, right, with some superstitious shit happen on that base, right? You can just tell like the military is like, nah, we ain't gonna fuck with it. Like they might try to mess with it a little bit at first, but if it's like it gets too weird, right? They're like, fuck that. And they try to like no, not mention it or on all that. Anyone who's in the military, they know. They know, of course. Even like in the States, like close to like the original 13 colony area over there, like they know about that scary shit where people on base are like, yeah, don't go to these areas because it's, I don't like, there's people who are like me where like, no, it's more like my dad, I guess, where he's like, I don't believe in ghost stories, but I'm gonna test it out. Like, oh, this place is haunted, right? He's like, I'm not going there. Do I believe a ghost would attack me? He's like, no, but I still ain't gonna go there. I was like, yeah, that's a smart way to live. Even if it's like you don't believe in ghost stories or whatnot, like I'm definitely not gonna go and test out that theory and get taken. Let's see. You know what? I actually kind of forgot to check to see what's the other piece of or gear, the piece that I needed, or did I already get it? Yeah, my ADHD yesterday probably like prevented me from like actually focusing and knowing what I needed to do. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the Pioneer shop. Okay. I don't need that one, so this... Yeah. It's already got all the rings. And I haven't put it on because I think other stuff that I have right now, yeah, it drops it down. But once I get more of these things, then I'll be able to increase them. So I have like the 2 rings just straight up 2 rings that I need to use it on. Alright, okay, I have that red layout. Oh, I think the only thing I'm missing is just the legs. And if next week there's legs, right, then I'll just be perfect. Because let's take a look. Oh, like the weapon too. Yeah, I forgot. So yeah, legs. I have this. I have all these. Yep, I got these two yesterday, and I just got this. So it's just legs and weapon. And I think the legs come with the talisman. So hopefully it drops just the... No, I might like it drop the talisman, then I have to use to open the box to get the legs. Oh, well, oh, bother. Oh, actually, let's also take a little bit of a look, see? Okay, honor coins, just to make sure. Before I used to have like max out on these. I think there's just so many weeks I just didn't get anything. But now that I do, I'm not even close to using these yet. I'm still on Reforged 2. I'm like, I don't even know how people got to this point. Okay. Friendship coins don't really have too many. What? Oh, I use it on mostly on the mystery store, so can't go too wild with that. Nah, not that, not that. Reclaim, I think. I don't really need the currency. I usually buy all the good stuff. Mostly, I think the loot chest. Ooh. I didn't get this one. See, this is why sometimes it's good to always like kind of like go back and look. Okay. Oh, oh. Then we can open up stuff. And batch use. Okay. No, that's not that. Oh, what's this? Okay. What life skills do I need to level? I think weave. Yeah, no, what? Weaving. Weave. Where? Oh, there. We'll just mess with weaving for a minute. I think it was splitting them up between too many of them will just dilute like what you're leveling. Oh yeah, I actually had to open those things. Yes, I know. Oh yes. There we go. How many levels did it go up? Damn, it takes a minute. Okay, I thought it would go up a little bit higher, quicker. Okay. And since I'm actually decently close up here, I think I might have gotten maybe enough of those little gold things for I could reforge it to level 16. Let's see, we're about to find out. Darn, I was a few off. Darn. But yeah, I think was it, oh yeah, I need to tell the rest of the group, right? Because I didn't realize when we made Noodle Nightmares, I didn't realize how much like a lot of people just, they have a weakness to horror games and stuff like that, right? Like that genre I like. Am I also scared of it? Yeah, but I kind of like, it doesn't bother me as much because I'm like, oh, it's a game, or it's a book, right? Like real life, like that's why some like murder mystery stuff, right? That stuff kind of like weirds me out where I'm like, oh man, especially if it's like mundane horror where like, like, oh, this person just killed this person. Why? Because he's crazy. Like, that stuff kind of messes me up a little bit more than like scary entities messing people up. I was like, but I guess sometimes like that's the reason why like I'm not like psychological horror. I'm like, oh man, or like the monster is you, or the monster are people. Like that one kind of messes me up. I like when the monster's like, oh, this monster is just physically there and he, he wants to fade. I'm like, oh, okay. I see. Let's see. We'll do the classic. But yeah. So for let's see. I mean, for this in the horror topic, I could probably talk about that for days. Maybe I might even talk about like the movie idea that I have. Like more specifically, like the movie that I was thinking about making. There's a few versions, like the cheap movie I was thinking about making back when I was younger, and with found footage kind of way, or like the movie that if I had a lot of money, then I'll get like people to. But for that, I probably need to write a script. I had to go reread some books to be able to really pull it off. But yeah, the horror genre, just that there's so much there. Right, and I think if I was ever gonna make a movie like that, I want to take a page out of Korean horror and like kind of add a little bit like lighthearted moments in the beginning to kind of like put that people in that false sense of security. So then later on, when it gets like no terrifying, then people are like, what in the hell? I thought this was a nice place. This shit's scary. So something like that. But yeah, what's it right now? The other members are like. Things like Waffles was like putting up some scary games. Like, oh, how about this game? Like, I'll play it, but you gotta suffer along with me when I play that game. Like, I'm not doing it by myself. I'm scared. And with that, guys, hope you guys like and subscribe. Like, yeah, definitely like join us tomorrow where we just talk about some more random things. Probably the same kind of general field. Or some like, I'm just waiting for like a new like Destiny 3 kind of news to come out, but unless that happens, yeah, stay tuned. We'll probably talk about some horror stuff tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good one. Right now, I'm adapting to the pollen, so we'll see how that turns out. Well, I have to like use my crutch, which is Allegra. Or whether to tank it this season of pollen. We'll find out soon enough. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a good one and take care. Peace.